Is there another version of you and me, right now, having this exact same conversation somewhere else in the universe? If just one small decision in your past had changed, could your whole life have gone a different way? And if parallel worlds really exist, how could we ever know? These questions sound like science fiction, but believe it or not, scientists are asking the very same things. We grew up being told there's just one universe, one sky, one Earth, and one reality. But science today isn't so sure anymore. Once people thought Earth was the center of everything, then we learned the sun was. Maybe now it's time to realize that our universe might just be one among countless others. The idea of parallel worlds didn't start with physics, it began as philosophy. Go back to ancient Greece around 400 BC. Philosophers like Democritus and Epicurus believed reality was made of infinite atoms, scattered across infinite space. Back then, other worlds were just a thought experiment. Worlds with different combinations of atoms, maybe even different gods or people. Centuries later, the idea came back to life. In the 1500s, an Italian philosopher named Giordano Bruno claimed our universe was just one of infinitely many. He said every star was a sun with its own planets and maybe its own life. His ideas were so bold the church burned him alive in 1600. But his spark didn't die. It ignited centuries of curiosity that followed. Still, for a long time, there was no scientific proof. Until the 20th century, when quantum physics turned everything upside down. In 1957, a young PhD student named Hugh Everett proposed something shocking. He said, every quantum event splits the universe. Meaning every time a particle can exist in two states, the universe itself splits. One where it's in state A and another where it's in state B. And we're just living in one of them. His theory became known as the many worlds interpretation. At first, most physicists laughed it off. Even Albert Einstein, who helped create quantum theory, didn't like it. But decades later, hundreds of scientists are taking it seriously. Then came the 1980s. Physicists Alexander Vilenkin and Andrei Linde developed the theory of cosmic inflation. They suggested that maybe the Big Bang wasn't the only bang. Maybe the universe is like soap foam, each bubble a separate universe forming endlessly. According to their math, there could be up to 500 universes. That's a number so huge, our brains can't even picture it. Now imagine this. In one of those universes, maybe you decided to move abroad. In another, you never sent that message. And in another, maybe you never existed at all. But so far, these are just theories. We have no direct way to see or touch a parallel universe. Still, its effects might show up in our own. In 2020, NASA's Antarctic balloon experiment detected particles that seem to move backward in time. Some physicists suggested it could be evidence of a mirror universe where physics runs in reverse. It's exciting, but not confirmed. At the same time, scientists at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland are searching for traces of hidden dimensions. In 2016, one research team announced that missing energy in their particle collisions might have leaked into another dimension. Like a piece of reality slipping just out of reach. But it's not just scientists obsessed with parallel worlds. Pop culture loves it too. From Interstellar to Doctor Strange, Everything Everywhere, All at Once, and even Rick and Morty, they all play with the same idea that there could be infinite versions of us out there. And these aren't just stories. They're reflections of one of humanity's biggest philosophical questions. Are we truly unique? From a philosophical view, parallel universes aren't only about physics. They're about meaning and choice. If infinite versions of you exist, do your choices really matter? Or is every possible outcome happening somewhere already? That's where science meets philosophy, and there's no simple answer. Still, this quest has driven real progress. Quantum computing, string theory, and advanced simulations have all brought us closer to understanding reality's hidden structure. String theory suggests our universe might have 11 dimensions, each one shaping a different version of reality. And with supercomputers now simulating billions of virtual particles, we've learned something profound. Maybe our minds are only experiencing one slice of a much bigger truth. In 2019, a study at Oxford University found that 27% of students believe parallel universes probably exist. And in a survey of physicists, about 38% said the many worlds interpretation makes scientific sense. So even among scientists, this idea isn't seen as fantasy anymore. But one big question remains. If parallel universes exist, why can't we detect them directly? Maybe because their physics is completely different. Maybe time flows differently there. Or maybe our brains are simply built to perceive only one layer of reality. Still, even without hard proof, one thing is clear. We are nowhere near the end of science. There are still mysteries we can't explain, and maybe that's the most beautiful part of all. When we stare at the night sky, maybe we're not just seeing galaxies. Maybe we're looking across the border of another world. A world where another version of us is making this same video right now. So here's the final question. If one day we could travel between universes, would you want to meet your other self? Or would you rather let the mystery stay unsolved forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because maybe, just maybe, in another universe, your answer is completely different.